to my channel. I am very excited for today's video because I will be kind of officially announcing that I'm starting a new project, a new novel. I'm also really nervous about it because I have not published anything since 2020. Um, and even the stuff I published, and I published my first novella, Judgment at Havel Rock, in 2019. And then after that, I published another novella called Or the Devil Will Get You uh, in 2020. And then after that, I thought I would be able to jump right into writing a novel. I was very wrong. It was a very stressful time. It really left me discouraged that I wasn't publishing. I wasn't, finishing any project. I just felt very drained and very uninspired, and it's one of the worst uh, times for a creative when you go through a long period of where you're just like, I don't have anything. um, but that it has changed since then, and I feel the inspiration raining down. And I am now going to officially start a new novel. And this video is kind of just like a little explanation of it, a little bit of a sneak peek into what it's about, all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I'm very excited for it, and I hope this video will also get you excited for when hopefully it is published by this time next year. I'm saying that very tentatively. I don't know for certain that it will be, but that is my ideal deadline. So yes, like I said, I'm very excited, and let's get started. All right, so here is my plotting notebook. I know I know I showed you my like digital version of this in Notion, but I have discovered that actually like physically writing things down and like putting pen to paper kind of solidifies it more in my mind, and just really helps to not keep everything so in my head. It really helps with the creative process, and I've been learning a lot about organizing things and notebooks from Sarah Cannon, who is a fantastic author tuber, who you should absolutely check out. She is wonderful. She does all sorts of writing tip videos, stuff with organizing and writing plot, and just all sorts of stuff. I highly recommend going to her channel. I will link it down in the description below. But yeah, this is my Fullness of Time series plot notebook. And it's a big one, obviously. I'm using this big one because it has several like sections in it, which I'm going to use for like each section is going to be for one book in the series. Um, I don't have many crafty things, so I didn't have many stickers to put on this. Like you see, I had like the letters, and I had like cut off pieces of like a sticky note. I can create drama out of anything to decorate it. I also had like these uh like note like this notepad from like 2016 when like I graduated. Um so and it had a Bible verse on it, so you can see, if you can read it at all, Jeremiah 29:11. You know, that verse that everyone puts on uh, anything having to do with students and graduation and going out into the world and all that sort of stuff. But yes, so um, if you could not tell, by both the Notion video and just by the cover of this notebook, this is a Christian series. I am a Christian. I don't necessarily consider myself a Christian author, in the sense that I purely write, Christian fiction, I suppose. Of course, I have this whole idea about, separating the secular and the sacred and all that sort of stuff, which is just another rant that I could go on. But I don't like, needless, suffice it to say, I don't write exclusively Christian stuff. I write other stuff as well. But this one is going to be a Christian series, and it is sparked from a thought that I had. I've had this thought often throughout my life, but I had this idea, this question in my head about what if Jesus wasn't born, back in first century, back in the first century. What if it was the 21st century? What if it happened now, in our time? And I'm fascinated by that. I was fascinated by all the other questions that sort of pulled up. Well, if Christianity wasn't created like back then, and we went through an entire 2,000 years without it, how do things look now? How different does history look? How different do modern times look without the whole fall of the Roman Empire, rise of Christianity, all that sort of stuff? Like, that changes history significantly. And I find that absolutely fascinating. And so I decided to make that into a series. Now, of course, this is historical fiction, so there are like parameters that I've placed on myself to like what I can do, because there's only so much you can like research, and some stuff is just guesswork and my own imagination. But basically, like the parameters of this is that I'm writing from the point of view as if the Roman Empire never fell, and in fact only grew stronger and went and conquered its way through Europe. Um, and it's and I did not realize. Well, I mean, I knew, but like you realize like the extent, just how one thing just changes all of history, and especially something as significant as the birth of Jesus. It is monumental in how it affects everything. Uh, and even, and of course, like the fall of the Roman Empire also was a huge historical event that had such a domino effect on everything. So my basic premise is that what if the Roman Empire never fell and it continued into this day? What would life look like? What would quote unquote modern day look like? So it doesn't look exactly the same as, our modern day. It doesn't like have, you know, there are certain things that obviously can't exist because Christianity doesn't exist yet. Um, so there's that. There's also um, just like this. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, and now I can't think of it. Um, what was it? Uh, but yeah, just a lot of research is going into this. So much is happening. Um, the modern day, basically, looks like I kept all of the advances in technology that we had throughout the past 2,000 years. because I would find it um, uh, I wouldn't find it useful to like not have that. It kind of defeats the purpose of the point, which is to show Jesus in like a modern light. Like what does the gospel look like in modern day? What does the story of Jesus look like in modern day, and in things we can comprehend and like have a frame of reference for? Because um ancient societies are so far removed from us. We cannot, we don't have a frame of reference for some of the things that they believed and they thought in their worldview. There's so many things that is so different now. um just so much has changed, and culture, and not just individual cultures but world culture has shifted so much. So it's very difficult to kind of narrow that stuff down. But I tried to keep it as simple as possible, to where obviously the historical aspect of it is going to come into play. And it is an important part of the story, but it's not going to overpower the story. I don't want the focus to be uh, the world building, I guess you could say. Even though the world building is important and it's part of it, I don't want that to be the focus. I want the focus to be on this concept of what would Jesus look like in modern times, and what would the the movement that was early Christianity look like in modern times. Um, so with that all being said, um, just go ahead and open this notebook, and as you can see, a lot of stuff already written. Um, Spoiler alert, the first book is going to be called Emmanuel. And it is uh, the story of the Nativity. It is the story of Mary, Joseph, and the birth of Jesus, and through a modern lens. And it's very, very interesting, because I did keep the veneer of the cultural aspect of uh first century Judaism. Uh, I I wanted to keep that because I felt like it was important. Uh, it is vitally important that Jesus is Jewish. Um, that is that's just essential. Like that, I cannot change that. Um, and just these aspects of Judaism and its its culture and the way it kind of worked back in the first century, I kept, because it's essential for the story of Jesus. You cannot separate his Jewishness from himself. He is a Jewish man, uh, and so a lot of cultural things have been kept, but obviously more of a modern twist. You see things that you know um, differences within it. The hardest thing for me coming up with is just the idea of how the nativity itself is going to work. Like the whole born in a stable, laid in a manger kind of thing. Because to me, that doesn't really fit. I can't really retroactively fit that in to modern times, in the sense that I can match it one for one. So it's just like, what's different? What is an equivalent? What is something that states makes the statement of Christ's humility in coming to earth, in this lowly kind of place? And what was going through Mary and Joseph's mind, like when all this was happening? what what was Joseph thinking when Mary told him that she was pregnant? Like, what do you think? Obviously, we know from scripture that he uh, was going to like divorce her, but like quietly. So like he obviously thought she had either he thought she had betrayed him, or that he just didn't want to deal with it, and then he got this vision or dream from the angel. So I'm very fascinated by that, and I'm fascinated to learn more about kind of Mary's mindset uh, in all of this. And I don't want to give it away and give everything away, because obviously I don't want to just like, here's everything in the book, so you don't even have to read the book. But I'm trying to look at it from a specific angle that hopefully resonates with uh, with people. I want it to. That's the goal with this kind of story for me, is that it resonates with people. If it doesn't make them feel something, if it doesn't connect to them in some way, then I have wasted my time and I have wasted their time. And that is a grievous sin, in my opinion, especially for a writer and an artist. So I am trying my best to make sure that this is both faithful and creatively satisfying and narratively satisfying for someone to read. Um, so hopefully that works out. I think it will, because I truly believe that the story of Jesus is timeless. And obviously I'm biased because I am a Christian, so I would believe that. But I truly think that it is one of those stories that will last on through every generation. It's so impactful, and you can just see how the past thousands of years that it's been here, how impactful it was. And whatever you believe about Christianity, whether you think it's true or not, or all that sort of stuff, you can't deny its impact, and you can't deny how it affects us today. And there are all sorts of opinions on that. I have my own opinions, um, which I don't want to make this a theology video, unless you guys want that. If you want me to like go into like my theology and stuff like that, let me know. I don't think you do, but you know, you could. Um, but yes, uh, so this has really just sparked my imagination, sparked my creativity. I am already so like I already feel so connected to the character of Mary. Um, and it's weird to have that with a historical person. Um, to but who's also, you are also making into a fictionalized version of them. So it's a very weird connection, very surreal in a kind of way, but it's it's wonderful. I I really like it. I really am enjoying creating this sort of narrative, and you know, I guess displaying this narrative in a way that will be uh, available for all audiences. Maybe not all of them. I mean, not everyone, not every audience is gonna love what I write. Um, but I want it to be universal. I want it to be something that people can read and say, I see myself in that. I see myself in these characters. Because I think that's how stories impact you. You have to see the humanity, and that is very important to me. Going back to just giving you like a little tour through the notebook, we have list of characters. We have the character template that I use, and again, I'm using Sarah Cannon's character template for each of the main characters. Of course, we have Mary, Joseph, and then Elizabeth and Zachariah. They are also going to be in this. They're also going to be point of view characters, and I have, you know, one for each of them. And then I have my outline, which I'm using the Save the Cat outline, which I don't usually use outlines, but I think that's been my problem. I try to just go fly by the seat of my pants, be a pantser, and get it done. But I can't. It doesn't seem to be working for me. So I have decided to give myself at least a little bit of an outline so that I know the direction that I'm going. So I am using Save the Cat. If you don't know what Save the Cat is, it's basically, it was written for screenplays, but there is a novel version called Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and it gives you kind of like an overview of it through like a novel's point of view, and like a instead of like looking at it through like a movie lens. And Save the Cat is one of those outlines that I thought I wouldn't use, simply because it's not, in a way, it's universal for a lot of stories, but it's not necessarily the structure for all stories. And really, no structure is like the exact structure that is for all stories of all time. Save the Cat, though, is pretty is a pretty good one, and so I decided to at least see if I could mesh my story with it, and so far it's worked pretty well. I have a very clear idea of what I want to do, my scenes that I need, how I want to divide up the chapters, everything. So already, this idea of writing things down physically and putting them to paper, so that I can like physically pick up a notebook and like read it, has been very, very helpful. There's nothing wrong with having it digitally. Like, as you know, I love using the digital stuff because like it's so easy to like, you know, customize and make your own and all that sort of stuff. But it does kind of make things, there's no permanence to it, you know? And that's weird to say because it's the internet, but permanence in the sense that I can just delete words. I can just backspace and a whole sentence, a whole paragraph is gone. And, you know, I've lost it. Whereas physically, it takes a lot more to get rid of it. And so it kind of, like I said before, like it solidifies everything in my mind. And that makes me super confident that I will actually be able to complete this novel and publish it, because I have a strategy now. I have something, like a clear-cut goal that I can work towards, which is wonderful. And I'm very, very happy, and I'm very excited to dig deep into it and have a full-length novel written. My goal is like the NaNoWriMo goal of like 50,000 words, but that's just like a baseline. I don't think this is going to be a long book by any means, so 50,000 might be enough, but who knows, it may cross over just a little bit, cross over the line. So I am so excited. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. And I cannot wait to finish this book and show it to you guys and have it out there in the world for people to read, and like, that's exciting. That's so exciting. Yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe, ring the bell, the YouTube stuff. Um, if you would like to see more of me like explaining the kind of plot, or not just with this book, but maybe other works in progress that I have, I'm totally willing to talk about it because as you can see, like I love talking about my stories. It's my favorite thing to do. Uh, so yeah, um, I hope you are having a great day. I hope you continue to have a great day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.